From empty pockets to endless possibilities. The unbreakable journey of a dreamer who rose from poverty to success. I'm standing in the hallway when Calder Voss pushes the foreclosure notice into my chest, and the paper is still warm from the printer. 30 days, he says, smiling like we're old friends. Then everything goes to auction. The app, the servers, the trademark. All of it. My co-founder Mara is behind me, and I hear her breath catch, but I don't turn around. I keep my eyes on Voss, on his perfect teeth and his wool coat that probably costs more than my rent. You can't do this, I say, and my voice sounds thin even to me. He tilts his head. Read the contract, Elias. Page 17. Subsection C. Missed payments trigger immediate seizure of collateral. You missed 3. I didn't miss them. I asked for extensions. I sent emails. I called his office 6 times. Those were pending, I say. You told me we had time. He shrugs. I changed my mind. Mara steps forward. We can pay. Just give us 2 weeks. Voss looks at her like she's furniture. The debt is $240,000. You have 2 weeks to find that? She goes quiet. He turns back to me. I gave you a rope when no one else would. Not my fault you hanged yourself with it. Then he leaves, and the hallway smells like his cologne for 20 minutes after. That night I sit in my apartment with every document I've ever signed spread across the floor, and I read page 17, subsection C, and he's right. It's there, clear as glass. I was so desperate when I signed it I didn't even notice. Mara is on the couch, arms crossed. We should get a lawyer, she says. I shake my head. Lawyers cost money we don't have. So what, we just let him take everything. I don't answer. I'm thinking about the recordings. I started recording my calls with Voss 6 months ago, not because I suspected anything, just because I wanted proof of our agreements in case things ever got messy. I have 12 calls saved on my phone. I pull them up and start listening. In the third one, Voss says interest will be capped at 8% annually. In the contract, it says 12% compounded weekly. In the 5th call, he promises I can defer payments during product development. The contract says deferrals require written approval, which I never got. In the 9th call, he laughs and says, "Don't worry about the fine print, kid. I'm not trying to screw you." I play that part twice. Mara is watching me now. "What are you doing?" she asks. I say, "Documenting." She frowns. "For what?" I don't answer because I don't know yet, but my chest feels lighter than it has in weeks. Over the next 4 days I barely sleep. I trace Voss's business through public records, limited liability company filings, and loan databases. I find 8 other startups he funded in the last 3 years. 6 of them folded. 2 are still operating but barely. I call the founders. Most don't answer. One does. His name is Anthony, and he sounds tired. "What do you want?" he asks. I say, "Calder Voss. You worked with him, right?" There's a long pause. Worked with is generous. He bought my debt, changed the terms, then took my company when I couldn't pay. Same thing he's doing to me, I say. Anthony laughs, but it's bitter. Good luck fighting him. I tried. He's got lawyers who make litigation so expensive you'll go broke before you even get to court. I thank him and hang up. Then I call the other founder who's still operating. Her name is Simone. She doesn't want to talk at first, but when I mention Voss's name, she softens. He's a predator, she says quietly. He finds desperate people and makes them more desperate. Then he profits. I ask if she'd be willing to go on record. She hesitates. On record how? I say, I'm putting together a case. Public exposure. Maybe legal action. She's quiet for a long time. Then she says, I have a daughter. I can't risk retaliation. I tell her I understand, but after we hang up I feel the anger twist tighter in my chest. Mara finds me at my desk at 3 in the morning, and she's holding 2 cups of coffee. She sets one next to my laptop and sits down. You look like hell, she says. I say, I'm fine. She doesn't believe me. What's the plan, Elias? I tell her everything. The recordings, the founders, the discrepancies between the calls and the contract. I tell her I'm going to expose him. Post the recordings online. Send them to journalists. Make sure everyone knows what kind of person Calder Voss really is. She listens without interrupting. When I finish, she says, and then what? I blink. Then people know. Then he can't do this to anyone else. She leans back. Or he sues you for defamation. Or his lawyers bury you. Or nothing happens because rich people protect each other. I shake my head. It's not about winning. It's about making sure he doesn't get away with it. Mara looks at me for a long time. You're not doing this for other people, she says. You're doing this because you're angry. I don't deny it. She sighs. Just be careful. Revenge doesn't always land where you aim it. I spend the next week building the case. I edit the recordings into a timeline. I write a detailed post explaining everything, complete with screenshots of the contract, email chains, and public records showing Voss's pattern of predatory lending. I create a burner email and send the whole package to 3 tech journalists and 2 local news stations. Then I post it on every forum and social media platform I can find. Within 6 hours, it's spreading. Within 12, it's viral. People are furious. The comments are exactly what I wanted. This guy is a monster. Someone should investigate him. I hope he loses everything. One of the journalists I contacted calls me. Her name is Rachel, and she wants to do a full story. I agree. We meet at a coffee shop, and she records our conversation. She's sharp, asks good questions, and by the end I can tell she believes me. This is going to blow up, she says. Are you ready for that? I say yes, but I'm not sure I mean it. The article drops 3 days later. It's thorough, well-researched, and damning. Rachel includes quotes from Anthony and Simone, who changed her mind and agreed to talk. The headline reads, Portland financier accused of systematically exploiting vulnerable entrepreneurs. Within hours, Voss's firm releases a statement calling the allegations baseless and threatening legal action. But the damage is done. Other founders start coming forward. A former employee leaks internal emails showing Voss joking about bleeding startups dry. The state attorney general's office announces they're opening an investigation. I watch it unfold from my apartment, refreshing news sites over and over, and for the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe. Then Mara calls. Her voice is shaking. Elias, we have a problem. I ask what's wrong. She says, the investors are pulling out. I don't understand. Why? Voss is the one under investigation, not us. She's quiet for a second. They don't want to be associated with the controversy. They're worried it'll hurt their reputation. My stomach drops. They can't do that. We have contracts. They have clauses, she says. Reputational risk. They're invoking them. I feel the air go out of the room. Without the investors, we can't pay our developers. We can't keep the servers running. We can't survive. How long do we have? I ask. Mara's voice cracks. 2 weeks. Maybe less. I try to find new investors, but no one will touch us. The story is too messy, too public. One potential backer tells me, you might be right about Voss, but you made yourself radioactive. I want to scream at him, but I don't. I just hang up. Mara and I have a meeting with the team, and I have to tell them we might not make payroll. Some of them quit on the spot. Others stay, but I can see the doubt in their eyes. One of the developers, a guy named Kevin, pulls me aside after. I have a kid, he says. I can't work for free. I tell him I understand, and I do, but it still feels like a knife in the ribs. The legal fallout starts a week later. Voss's lawyers file a defamation suit against me, Rachel, and the news outlet. The amount they're asking for is staggering. 7 figures. My lawyer, a public defender I can barely afford, tells me I have a strong defense because everything I said was true, but defending it will cost tens of thousands of dollars I don't have. They're not trying to win, he explains. They're trying to drain you. I ask what happens if I can't pay. He says, bankruptcy, possibly wage garnishment for years. I sit in his office, staring at the paperwork, and I realize Mara was right. Revenge doesn't land where you aim it. Simone calls me a few days later. She's crying. They're coming after me, she says. I ask who. Voss's people. They're digging into my business, auditing my taxes, spreading rumors to my clients. My daughter's school found out about the case, and now parents are pulling their kids from playdates. I feel sick. I'm sorry, I say. I didn't think. She cuts me off. You didn't think at all. Then she hangs up. I try calling her back, but she doesn't answer. Anthony emails me. The subject line is empty. The body says, Thanks for nothing. My wife left me because I couldn't let this go. Now I'm unemployed and living in my car. Hope it was worth it. I stare at the email for an hour. I don't reply because I don't know what to say. The Attorney General's investigation takes 8 months. In the end, they fine Voss's firm $50,000 and order them to revise their lending practices. Voss doesn't go to jail. He doesn't lose his business. He releases a statement saying he's committed to transparency and reform, and most people forget about it within a month. Meanwhile, my app shuts down. Mara finds a new job and stops returning my calls. I move back in with my parents because I can't afford rent. My dad doesn't say much, but I see the disappointment in his eyes every time we're in the same room. I get a job at a warehouse, packing boxes for $12 an hour. It's mindless work, and I'm grateful for that. I don't want to think anymore. One of my coworkers, a guy named Ben, asks me what I did before this. I tell him I had a startup. He asks what happened to it. I say, it didn't work out. He nods and doesn't push. I'm thankful. 2 years later, I'm walking through downtown Portland, and I see Calder Voss getting out of a black car. He's wearing the same kind of coat, talking on his phone, laughing about something. For a second, our eyes meet. He doesn't recognize me. I keep walking. That night, I check his firm's website. They're still operating, still funding startups. I scroll through the testimonials, and they're glowing. I wonder how many of those founders know what they're signing. I start volunteering at a nonprofit that helps low-income entrepreneurs. It's small, underfunded, and chaotic, but the director, a woman named Carmen, believes in it fiercely. She asks me to help review loan applications. I agree. The first application I read is from a 23-year-old kid who wants to start a delivery service. His credit is bad. His plan is shaky. He reminds me of myself. Carmen asks what I think. I tell her he's too risky. She frowns. He just needs a chance, she says. I shake my head. Giving people chances they can't handle doesn't help them. It destroys them. She looks at me like I'm a stranger. Later, she tells me maybe I'm not the right fit for this kind of work. I don't argue. I'm walking home one night when I find a $10 bill on the sidewalk. I pick it up and put it in my pocket. For a second, I think about the $9 I was short the day I got evicted. I think about how far I thought I'd come. I think about Voss, about Simone, about Anthony, about Mara. I think about the knife I thought I was throwing and all the people it hit on the way. I don't give the money back. I don't donate it. I just keep it, because I'm not sure anymore if I learned the right lesson, or if I learned anything at all. The revenge worked. Voss was exposed. People knew the truth, and somehow, I still lost. Somehow, everyone lost, and the worst part is, I'd probably do it all again.